Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am wonderful and today we're going to learn how to start poultry farming. So like the video, share and subscribe. Okay, Mr. Francis.
Yes.
If you not watch our previous video, the link is very click on this and watch our previous videos. Okay, Mr. Francis.
Yes.
What inspired you to start poultry?
Well, the poultry one. There was a young guy just closer to me who was who did the farming. Actually, I myself, I was a little bit scared from poultry farming because when I was very young, I see people having poultry farms. On the way, they lose their birds, so I was not interested. Until that young guy, just his farm is just closer to my place here, started his own. So I went to him and asked him. He said, "Oh, it's a good business. I can come in," and he needed assistance too. So I gave him the assistance I could, and in return, I also asked him also to take me through. So I started with a 1,000 bears, and really on the way, I felt the business was very interesting. So I decided to expand because I was making a lot of money. My main business is I'm a spare parts dealer, and getting this business was another opportunity to open up my business. Well, since I entered, that should be about 4 or 5 years ago. I think I've been making good money, and again, farmers are always blessed to give food to people. So one of my motivation is at least to also get people get good nutrition, get good food to eat like eggs, to prepare their stew, whatever they want. Children to get a healthy life.
Okay, so starting the poultry, what challenge are you go through?
Well, poultry, one of the biggest challenges is the pen itself. For buying the birds and the feed, everybody knows that. That is as not easy, but I'm going to buy bird. This is the cost one will cost, and the feed. This is how it will cost. But the pen itself to put on the structure, we know how expensive it is. It's just like putting a house because you need the floor works, that's the concrete work, the side, the net, the board, the roofing sheets, and that is the difficult part of in poultry farming. So that is the challenges, and again, the poultry also need a very good hygienic because the birds they are also like human beings. You don't take good care of them, they will fall sick. So your disinfectant should be effective. Changing the litters, for instance, should be regularly because initially I faced the problem like that. I was told that the litters can be there for about 6 months or some long period, which because I was very new into it, I had a problem. The birds started dying, took some to postmortem from the veterinary. He diagnosed E. coli. He gave me medicine to come and treat them. It was like they are getting better. They were still dying. So I went to Francasin. That's where we buy our poultry medicines. And I met a very young guy who is one of my inspirers. He said, "Look, I explained whatever is going on. And he told me that your sawdust, you have to change it no matter how treatment you give them. If you treat them, the infection is still in there." So we came and so I asked, "How long can we be doing that?" He said, "At least every month you have to change it." Since that, we have never experienced any problem. So my advice is that all poultry farmers should be changing their litters regularly, renew them, put new ones. Again, your disinfectant, should be changing it. Make sure when you are going to the pen, you disinfect your foot. The foot bath should be there. You do it regularly. You give them their vitamins periodically, like the deworming. For instance, every 2 months, you give them your dewormer, and maybe some months you give them your vitamins. You will not have problem. So for about 4 years, I've got only one situation that I never liked. Since then, I've not had any problem.
Okay. Between battery caging and limited system, which one? Why you decide to go for this one?
Actually, no. When I started initially, because I was brought up from outside Ghana, I had the idea of the battery cage. So I bought one for the pilot basis, which I used one battery cage. As at that time, I bought it 1,100 CDs. So when I wanted to go into the real and business itself, for 1,000 beds, no, it means I will need approximately about 9 battery cages, which will be about, that is 9 times, that is about 90 something. So I saw that it was expensive, and as we all know, poultry farm is capital intensive. If you have the capital, you can go into it well. So I think that the battery cage would have been the best, because the best, they don't touch their feces. The eggs, when they produce the eggs too, it comes out very clean. The food is not there's no any is everything is in a system. And you want to change the waste. If you want to change the waste, it's easier, because the feces will be dropping direct on the floor. You just put some sawdust under the battery cage, then you just wipe it off, and you are there to go. But you see, you build a structure, now you have to go in for battery cages. I don't think that economically, it is going to help. That is why I decided to use the sawdust, because it is going to reduce the cost. And even as I'm talking to you now, feed has been increased unexpectedly. We don't know how to even sell our eggs, because the feed is expensive, and we also need to increase the price of the eggs. But no, customers cannot buy, people cannot buy and eat. So we are forced to reduce our income. So assuming if you are using a battery cage and you have that debt and you need to pay back, it's going to be difficult. That is why I decided to use. But really, I think I have never used full pen with battery cage. I bought only one, which I use it on parlor basis, which would have been good, but I've never used it. And using this one is economical. Now we change the sawdust, but we haven't faced any situation, unless the first one that I said earlier on. Yeah.
So like day one,
Mm.
how do you able to wait the day one to mature?
Okay. One, when I started, I take my bears from Ricks and Co.
Okay.
They are imported bears. They come in day old. We pick them from the airport myself. Then you bring them in. We have to use the plywood to circle it. Then we use plywood, circle it, put the sawdust in, put graphic, any paper in, because to prevent the younger ones from picking the sawdust. Then we start with them that night. We have the heater. The old primitive way, they used charcoal and a pot. Now we have the heater, which is the gas heater, to warm them up, because they are day-old chicks. So we warm them up for about 2 weeks. It depends the weather. When we are in the drying season, when the weather is warm, of course, we reduce the days. When the weather is cold, you have to. So after that, for about 2 weeks, they start, trying to fly, playing around. Then you have to expand the circle board for them to have enough space. So gradually, you remove the circle board so that they can have enough space on the sawdust, and they can be feeding on their own. And I think we have the medicine, we have the program. From day one, you give them the vitamins. You start the day one, the glucose, give them the vitamins, antibiotics. We have vaccines, the oral and the injectable. The injectable is when they are about to closer to lay. We have um, the flower pots, and finally we have the third new castor is also injectable. The others are oral vaccines. So that's we have the program which we take them from Francasin and Gaffa. That's where I buy my feed from Gaffa. So you always have to rely on these organizations because they sometimes do a research and change the program. So you always have to make sure that that is the program the existing program, because sometimes the what do you call it? Those who do the investigation may detect some diseases and they will discover new vaccines for the birds. You always need to ask these organizations like the GAFAC, the Francasin. We have other companies who sell the best medicines.
So after how long it takes before they start lay eggs?
Okay, when you give them the third new castle, that should be there from the 16 weeks going. So the 16 weeks should be at that point. When you want to count it in months, would be like 4 months. So when you give them the third new castle, of course you have to do the debeaking too, because they've been doing pecking, or when they lay the eggs, they will try to break it. So you give them the third new castle, you do the debeaking. Then from there, that is to be that should be 16 with the 20th week. That will be 5 months. The 20th week, then 20 weeks time, maybe they will start. So within 20 weeks to 25 weeks, 24 weeks, then they start laying.
So how many times do you worm them?
I do it monthly, depending monthly. We do deworming, which is very important.
So apart from the worm, I mean, what's the medication that you give to them?
That's what I said earlier. Apart when they are grown, you don't need to give them medicine because they are not sick. What you have to do is that you give them like the vitamins, and we have the antibiotic vitamins. So that one, once a while, you give them the antibiotics vitamins. But you don't need to give them any medicine because they are not sick. It's like when you start giving them medicines and they fall sick, then they are used to that medicine, it will not work anymore. So if they are not sick, if you take good care of your birds, they are not going to fall sick. If you don't take good care of them, they will fall sick. Some are also coincident because some of the sickness are airborne diseases, depending where your farm location is. For instance, ours is in the mango farm here. You know, the trees are here, they take in carbon dioxide. So I think we have a good place for our farming. So we don't have that much problem with infections.
Okay, so if they start laying, how long it takes before they finish laying?
Okay, if they start laying, for instance, the best, up to 2 years, then they are almost being spent. But depending on their performance. For instance, I have other room, they are now 2 years plus, but they are still laying. They are around 900 bears. They are giving us about 21 crates a day, so which is about 50 something percentage. So when we strike out from the feed that we give them, we still make some small money. So we need to still keep them. And again, the older they become, the bigger their eggs becomes. So those old ones, they have big eggs, but the production comes down. You see, I think that when they get old, sometimes when you kill them, do the postmortem, you will see that some of the eggs are the chain of the eggs. You see some are big. You see there's a gap. So what it means is that some will be laying like 2 days intervals or some days intervals. So you will not get your previous production, what you were getting. You will not get it. It will reduce.
How many birds do you have?
The best. Here, for instance, we have 1,000 birds here.
Okay.
1,000 birds, but we pick around 26 crates a day. And the birds, some lay in the morning, some will lay in the afternoon, and some late evening. So I'm not sure. Some people say I'm not sure that a bird lay 2 eggs a day. I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure.
So any one bird lay one egg.
Can lay one, but of course they are also like human beings. You will have barrel, those who don't lay at all. Some of them too, you see, they try to do pecking. So those who are scared will be at the corner. So they don't eat, they don't come to feed. And if they don't feed, they cannot lay eggs because they need the feed to at least help them lay.
So how many times do you feed them?
We feed them once. For instance, we give them approximately 2 bags a day. And the chart we have, it increases. The more they grow older, you need to increase the feed gradually. We have the chart for it. You have to give them how many kilos, number of birds, and how many kilos do you have to be giving them every day. So some give half of the food in the morning, 12 o'clock they give the remaining. For instance, if you give them 2 bags, but we decide to give them all the 2 bags in the morning so that they will eat. That's what we do.
Okay. Is it profitable?
Yes, of course, it is. But as I've been saying all in the videos now, it's because of our current economical situations. Because we used to whatever profit we were making is reducing because when the cost of feed comes in and you want to pass it on to the consumer, then the egg gets too expensive, they cannot buy. So you need to reduce your profit a little bit to allow customers to also get. So we make profit. We make profit. Of course, every business that doesn't make profit, you will not continue. Of course, if you are not making profit, you will not continue. But now we are hoping for the best that there may be a change. If things change, our economical situation comes better, then maybe things can pick up well.
So currently, a day, how many crates you're able to get?
Yeah, that's what I said. Here we are able to get
Not like
all.
yeah.
In all, no, the other rooms, for instance, they are yet to lay. But now we have 2 rooms that give us eggs. This here is 1,000, there is about 900. So we are having about 50 eggs a day, closer to 50
50 years.
a
Okay,
day.
so one crate is currently is how much?
Okay, the crate varies. We have the old birds, for instance, because they are old, the eggs are big, so we have 70 cedis. Of course, that we get some few. We select those ones. Every day we get about 3 crates, that is 70 cedis. Then we have the 60 cedis too. Then we have 53. Then we have 48. That is the list that we have.
Okay, so somebody want to start. Somebody can get day old chicken.
Okay, me, I take mine from Rich and Co. I've been working with them for some time. Recently, there's a lady who introduced me to another day-old chick, which I took about 600 to experiment it and see how best their performance, they and the Risco. Of course, Risk and Co, their day-old chicks are expensive. What the last time I took, I think it was 21 cedis a chick. But the lady introduced one in Ghana here. I don't know whether he said they are in Tema, by the way. That one was 17 cedis. At the moment, some are even selling even up to 12 cedis. But it depends whether they will perform well during the laying period, if they can give you what you are expecting, the target. That's what I don't know. But recent Co is expensive. But since I started with them, I always get the target we are expecting. So if it's Risk and Co, you can go to them. You can get your day-old chick, which They are good. They are well treated. They don't fall sick. That's their chicks is what I've used. So I cannot do more recommendation on other ones. I will not know much too about other ones until what I just took start laying. Then can do a comparison.
Okay, so any advice for somebody in outside Ghana wants to start poultry?
Advice from somebody who want to um, um, go into poultry. Poultry is good business, but you see, we've been meeting our colleagues, those who also own poultry farms. The advice is that the boys who take care of the birds normally steal a lot. So if you want to go into poultry, one, you get a good manager, you should get your cameras in the pens so that you can monitor whatever is going on within the farm. Less than that, it's a little bit difficult. It's a little bit. Some of us, we are always here every 2 days interval. One man even gave advice that if you are owning a poultry farm, at least every 24 hours, you should be there once. At least you should just go there and go back every day. Yes, because we've been seeing it from the videos, some from Nigeria, some from Ghana here, with the workers have been stealing the eggs. There was a time one even said a story that the eggs were not the birds were not performing, so he's been buying medicine, this and that, and one told him that he should go there, stay there the whole day, collect the eggs himself, and count them. So he went himself, stayed there the whole day. From the morning, started collected his own eggs, counted them, and the difference was huge. So a poultry farm, you need a good manager. On everything is about honest. If you have honest people, then it will work. Especially if you are not here and somebody have to take care of you. You need somebody who is honest. And of course, when you don't take good care of your workers, they also find alternatives to survive. So you have to give them whatever they also need, so that they will not have the intent also to harm your business. That's my advice.
Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
in case of somebody is doing poultry and you have some challenge, what number that the person can contact you?
For now, we have the veterinary that they are around. I don't have them. I don't have the number of head here. They are veterinary officers. We are in Porting Junction. We have one in Breku. The veterinary officer, the doctor is there. We have one in Winneba and other places. So these days it's easier for poultry farm. If you have any mortality, for instance, some of your birds die impromptu, you just take it to the veterinary. You do postmortem and diagnose what really happened. If it's any infections, you do the prescription, you buy the medicine, and you are okay to go. These days, it's good to do poultry. Infection, they are treatable. All the infections have medicines too. So there is no fear like you'll be losing your bird, some infection will come into your pen. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Okay, thank you for watching. Like the video, share, and subscribe.